a huge challenge for NGOs to come online and actually engage and network. How do NGOs fundraise? Let's just talk about that for a second. An NGO has very few methods of fundraising. They network. As a founder, the founder has to go out and they have to actually reach out to people, talk to them, convince them, build trust with them, and then finally they get some money out of it. If they're lucky, they reach a company and they get a CSR. Online, there are a few platforms that are doing this online, like there's Give India, and there's a mass approach to funding that's happening. However, these platforms are selling poverty, they're selling pity, they're not selling smiles. That's what we are doing here. So that's the difference in the kind of approach that we need to take, because in Corona everyone's hitting a low. There's a mental low, and it's overall there are problems that we need to uplift a mental capacity of people. So somewhere a need of selling positivity, selling smiles is much 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 needed. And that's what I would like to instate here, that we need to look at things from a wider perspective. We don't want to be selling just poverty and smiles and then fundraising. An NGO can actually raise money with a different method, especially using technology. I'm going to tell you exactly how we can do that. But unfortunately, the government is not taking up many initiatives to do this, because the government's funds are being used in the relief. They are being used in the PPE. They're being used in the food, and the all the Amphan is coming, and so many things are happening all of a sudden in the past 3 months that they just don't have the money right now to do anything.
Yeah, I think that was the point that I was coming to at.
Yeah.
Right? So there are so many funds that are released, but as a core of an NGO, if they are say running certain uh, campaigns or certain specific things for the children, is not happening. But right now, what they are in search for is funds to even feed their children in the NGOs, right?
Yeah.
So on the same lines, I just wanted to understand from you: are there any initiatives in India taken as such to not just serve to the not just serve on how to feed these people, but also also serve the core of their NGOs. Like we've already had conversations before about this.
Yeah. So the government is not per se, helping out NGOs that much in terms of what they actually need. How the government is using NGOs is they are actually using the NGOs to, inject relief into the poverty segments of society. The problem here is that the NGO was formed for a particular reason, and if the NGO is not getting support for that particular reason, then they're not able to do their job properly. So if you were to ask, what is the government doing? Yes, the government is doing basic things, but it's not per se specifically helping the NGOs to what they really want. So yeah, I mean, that's what it is right now.
I mean, with the whole, this is some idea about Qause itself, right? If you could shed some light. And before that, moving into why when talking about Qause, I want to understand how did you even get the idea of starting something like Qause, and if you can tell the audience of what exactly Qause is and what it stands for.
Yeah, it's a really fun story actually. But I'm just going to give you a little background on it first. So NGOs lack technology. Let's face it that whatever said and done, no matter, the NGOs just are not equipped or are not aware enough to know how to use technology effectively. I'm going to show you that with a small video that I've got out here. So Mayank, you could just play that out.
I hope you all are able to see the video.
It's just loading up.
Yes.
Okay.
Play anything. Are you all able to see the video?
Yeah. Okay, I think it's stuck. That's okay. I think you can pause it. So, if you see the video that we're trying to show, I'm going to tell you the story of how Qause started. So, I actually went to an NGO 2 years ago when I had reached a peak in my career, and I was just wanting to think of what to do. How do I give back to society? So, I went with an intent to not give back money, but give back value. So when I went to the NGO, I saw many gaps in the systems that they were working in, and my passion is technology. So, I was just looking and I was just seeing how are these guys working, what computers do they use sheets, do they use any softwares? So I actually, dived deep in and actually started searching about it. I wanted to help them. And when I went after that to like 50 other NGOs, all of them had the same problem. There was no process, there was no control management system. They were so busy operationally to manage the kids, to manage the problems of the household of the kids, getting the kids from the NGO from the slum to the NGO, that there was just no time to actually step up their technology game. And they didn't even have time to fundraise or to volunteer as an NGO, because usually NGOs are really small and they just have one or two staff, which is so like, and they're usually, some of them are even shared as teachers. So the staff is the teacher and the manager and the fundraiser.
Yeah.
So because of all that capacity problem, there was a big gap that I saw. So I was like, how do you go and fundraise? So they said that we have to reach out to our personal network, and there is no other way that we are able to do it. If we are lucky, we get a company to support us. And imagine this, that these are the same people
Yeah.
working selflessly. They're working with their heart and soul. And it's such a pity that the world cannot see what they are doing. And they're missing out that inspiration to join the process. Because let's face it, see, if you've gone to an NGO's website, I wouldn't say all, but most of the NGO websites are not polished well. They are not, per se looking very beautiful or represented well. Because when they go to when they want to make a website, they don't really know how to do it. They don't know who to call, and then they have a fear of seeing whether will I get cheated, is this too expensive, and of course the money comes in again. So all of this as a problem is what I saw, and that's what led to the birth of Qause. I wanted to build technology for them so they are better enabled for the new world, and they can raise money effectively by getting them online.
Yeah.
That's where it all started. So on Qause, um, Qause is a platform where you can have NGOs, donors, volunteers, and supporters all online. And an NGO will be represented online with a profile, which you can get in just few minutes. You can just log into Cause and you can just sign up and you can get your profile right there. It's a super simple form where an NGO can fill it in 10 minutes, in less than 10 minutes. I'd love to show it to you. So if Mayank, you could pull up that image and just share it on the screen.
Yeah. Sure. Sure. One second. Yes. Can you all just see it? I'll just.
Just zoom it in, yeah, a little bit. You need to zoom it a little bit more. Yeah, that should be good.
Yeah.
So you'll just see this is just a dummy profile that I'm showing to you. So we represent you in a certain way. So just like a Facebook or a LinkedIn profile that you get, so we give you an NGO profile. We standardize your profile so that when people come online to search for you, they see you in a proper polished manner, and all the relevant information which I have got from the last 2 years of research with NGOs has been put out here, in a structured format. So literally from all the facilities in the NGOs, how many kids they have, what is their founding year, about the NGO, the founder, a little bit about the founder, the supporters. So if you are say associated to an NGO, you would be linked here. Your profile would be linked here and as well, that you are volunteered with them. A little bit of their photo gallery, to show and visually see. And this is the different part, the inspirational story. So here we are not going to sell pity, we're not going to sell sadness, we're going to sell happiness. So we're going to tell the NGOs, we're going to motivate them to that, listen, aapke yahan pe bachcha hai, if you have a kid or any other such beautiful story, please tell us that. We want to know that kid who had those dreams. We want to know that, and that may make us donate, that may make us support you, rather than selling sadness about it. So this is one of the parts where we really encourage people to put up stories. So then there is certificates. So all these certificates that are there, like ATG, 12A, FCRA, so standards that NGOs have. So a lot of people as a visitor want to know about them. So you can also see those here. And then there are the events of the NGO. So there could be like a painting drive, an annual event, it could be anything. All of these things can be showcased here all in one page. So that's what we wanted to create through Qause and give them that platform. And the cherry on the cake here is the donate button. So we also have the donate button where we don't charge any commission like other fundraising platforms. Only the payment gateway fees gets deducted, and we are enabling them to get Paytm, etc. Like, so that people like you can just donate 100 rupees anytime you want to over there. Yeah.
I think it's very interesting on how the concept of sympathy itself is moving away from here, where people, rather than donating, having sympathy on them, they rather have empathy on the kind of work they do, on the kind of talent that they have, and then donate for the same.
Exactly.
I think that's what I've understood from here. Now, coming to the whole concept, there are around 360 and more people watching you from different sources of casting. I just wanted to understand, and all of them are young people, right? And what I wanted to know, what can a young person in a day-to-day life, or say, however, in their capacity, can connect to these kind of causes? And at this point, once they are considering they can't go on ground, how can this work on an online platform?
Sure. So if you just keep the profile in view, you'll see the biggest challenge that is there in that profile is getting the content from the NGOs, the media, because the content coverage of their activities has never been properly documented. And the other thing is that most NGOs are not very well versed as content writers or like photographers or like even design. So it's not their forte, nor is it their role. Let's face it, they are doing the hand-on work, which is what we need to support them to do. So we fill in. So this is one of the ways that we can actually give back. And I'm going to just give you a perspective of how we are sitting here in the year of 2020. And never ever before in the history of humanity were we able to communicate with these tier 3s and the villages and the slums sitting in our home. Today, you have the power through, thanks to Geo, which is still going and penetrating down to that network, which is helping us, on the press of a button and video call a kid sitting in a slum anywhere in the world. So it's just amazing because we could not have accessed these people. And the second thing is that these villagers now have access to this plethora of information available on the internet. So considering that in 2020 jobs are changing, life is changing, it's not only about the typical 9 to 5 anymore, it's much more than that. So how do you add value? It should be not by giving money, it should be giving your time, because your time is much more valuable than your money. And we need to realize that as the youth, as the leaders, we have skills which not many have. And like in terms of graphic design, video editing, simple basic things that we can do sitting on our computer is the way we can give back. So I'm going to tell you exactly how you can do that. So we have 5 or 6 options with Qause how you could help, and no degrees are needed to do this.
Yeah.
So you can start by assisting NGOs to enrich their digital profile on Qause. This is like a telecaller profile wherein you'll get to speak to hundreds of founders of NGOs all across India, and you'll be calling them to encourage them to send in pictures and write better paragraphs. We'll assist them to write better paragraphs and write better portfolios about their founder and the NGO. So this is one part that we can easily do because we, as the youth, this comes with us. We don't need to train for it. So that's one. Second is, if you're a content writer, like you love to write, so polish your skills while writing catchy stories about the NGOs while, doing that. And third, if you're a graphic designer, you could support in making NGOs look better and online. So a lot of these NGOs, they put up the pictures are not high quality, and let alone high quality. I've seen people, NGOs who are putting up their passport picture they click the passport picture as a photo
Yeah,
and put it as
yeah,
their
yeah.
founder picture. So, we gotta improve that. We gotta tell them, hey, listen, click a selfie, send it, we'll edit it and we'll put it up for you so that it looks better to the world. Web design, moderation. So moderation is like something we have online classes for. I'm just going to come to that, and you can moderate those as a moderator. If you're a visual storyteller, photographer, videographer, you can actually go to the NGO and click the pictures, or make a video for them, make a launch video for them, so that they can showcase themselves beautifully to the world. And a video editor to edit the video. So imagine, all of these options that I've said are things that all of you here can do, and you can do it very easily, and it doesn't take anything but your time. So this is how you can give back through Qause to an NGO. But let's not forget the kids associated to the NGO. Let's not forget the students who are also getting infected by COVID. And trust me, they are more affected than the NGO itself, because if you know about the situation in India, there's a lot of domestic abuse and all of that happens, especially in the slums, is even more so. These kids, when they go to their NGO, it's like their form of escape. It's like they go out and they're out of the mundane routine of their house, and now that they're locked in, they have to face and see everything. So it's not really a good space to be in per se. So, I was like, what makes these kids happy? So what happened was, I went to that NGO, remember, on my birthday. So the NGO's name was Harmony House in Gurgaon. And I went and met multiple kids. I asked them,
Okay.
what do you want to be? So they're like, I want to be a doctor, I want to be a lawyer, I want to be an engineer. And so I was like, great, man, good dreams. So then I asked them, what do you love to do? Just twisted the question a little bit. What do you love to do? So suddenly the answers were like, I love to dance, I love to sing, I love to paint. And it showed it just gleamed up in their eyes. So I was like, there has to be something more to this. So asked them to make me speak to a few kids. And so at that time, I met this 12-year-old kid called Shiv.
Yeah.
And Shiv had the same passion as mine, which was technology. And it lit me up. And, I have to show you this picture of Shiv, so that it give you a
Yeah.
perspective of who he is.
Sure.
Um, I totally did not expect this 12-year-old kid from a slum to be doing what he was doing and being so inspiring. Just see this picture. So that's Shiv right there. And that's a truck he's made out of Tuborg cans and cardboard. And it's got lights on it and it moves as well. So when I spoke to him about like, what do you love to do? So he said, like, I want to be into robotics. So at that time I was like, why don't you do it? He's like, obviously I don't have the means to do it, and plus he's like, when I made this truck, I took it home, my parents actually threw it in the dustbin. And I was like, what? I'm like, this is so beautiful, it's one of the most beautiful things I've seen. He's like, no, they tell me that this is a time waste, humko padhai karni chahiye. So that's the culture. Like, I think everyone knows that we're put down, we're told to study, but his passion got lost, and he was a kind, he was just like in that zone where he was like, what do I do? So what we did was, I was like, don't worry, we are here, we'll motivate you, we'll help you. So we'll speak to your father as well, and let's see what we can do. So 2 weeks later he called me and he said कि भैया एक मोटर चाहिए मेरे को, 100 रुपए की मोटर है, मैं अफोर्ड नहीं कर सकता. So I ordered it on Amazon, sent it to him, and look what he made. If you could show that video of what he made.
Sure.
Yeah, so we just gave him that video, sorry, that motor, which just costed 99 rupees on Amazon. And then this happened. It was just like, until he's playing it, it was just so inspiring to see. And trust me when I say this, Shiv is actually the reason Qause has happened, because it really inspired me to create a platform that I can help to give back to people. And this is what he made. Um, no knowledge whatsoever, no education, 12 years old, it's moving with that motor. So it's like
I
a
think I
cycle.
think
Yeah.
I think it's quite evident how the audience is connecting to you, right?
Yeah.
And there's so many people out there. I mean, what Shiv has done, I think there is just one out of those million people who
Yeah.
is uh, out there who has a passion,
Yeah.
but don't have a source to probably get there, right?
Right.
And that is where things like cause and initiatives come into picture.
Yeah.
I just wanted to understand more about once you got to know about Shiv and you realized so many things and what happened next.
So, interesting story, So when I met Shiv, so then I set out on this thing that I was like, I want to give passion back to society, because I was like, there's something messed up with the education bit, because see, education is important, it's very important, but with a balance. It's not at the cost of stress. It's not at the cost of happiness. And today we live in a world of personalization, and I believe that most of us would agree when I say the true goal of life is to be happy. So if a kid is not happy doing what he's doing, maybe you're doing
Yeah,
something wrong, maybe a tad bit wrong, because after all, we all as humans have a unique trait and passion within us. It can't be standardized. You can't ask an elephant to climb a tree. So let's reflect on it. How many of
yeah,
us were truly asked in our life, what do you love to do? And how many of us actually chose it? Because let's face it, remember the times when you were a kid and you were like, singing in your bathroom, or, you did that dance, or you made that masterpiece painting, and then we got busy. We went to earn money, and we went to pursue our career. We forgot about that. So all I'm saying is, we do that career, we earn our money, we do that bit, but at the same time, we also balance our passion. And that's what led to something of a new initiative, as in this initiative started 2 years ago, but I just didn't know how to do it, how to start it, because I wanted to do it on a very large scale, and I wanted to do it online. But at that time, getting kids online, and that too through an NGO, and telling them कि आप उनको बोलो उनका कैमरा ऑन करें और वो आएं और पढ़ें, was such a challenge. Like I didn't even, like it was such a big problem. But I would say thanks to lockdown, that accelerated. So suddenly all the NGOs are like, हाँ हाँ please आप बच्चों को online सिखा दीजिए. So so much better. So we, like one idea led to another, and we started the platform. We adapted our company, and we created this new initiative which we call PassionGuru.
yeah,
And PassionGuru is an online platform where we are teaching and mentoring all the less fortunate kids of India, all kids not just related to NGOs, but let's say your house help. You have a guard in the colony. Even that person, you can just go up to that person today and say, "Hey, you want your kid? Do you have a kid? You want your kid to learn something? Please tell him to call this number." We have our helpline number, wherein we have made sure that the helpline number adapts well to a kid or a parent calling, so that they can actually just speak their problem out, and we can register it for them and get them classes. So we have covered passions which require the least resources, like singing, dancing, painting, sketching, kathak, sign
yeah.
language. So these are all things that you don't need money to do, you just need mentoring to do. You need time and you need value to create. So I believe that the youth needs to find innovative ways to uplift the poor, and it is all online. And that's this whole vision of making helping people pursue their dreams of passion is what gave birth to Passion Guru. And I'd love to show you a glimpse of what it is. If you could please play that video. Okay, so I hope you got some glimpses a little bit, video.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
I think I could see it from the reactions itself. I think
Yeah.
everyone has connected way too much in those 48 seconds of video.
Hmm.
And there's this really interesting platform where someone with a talent, not just learning it and also teaching it to the people who are not having an access to the kind of coaching, kind of mentoring that we get as such. Now we get a chance to do the same to the people out there who are not having access to these kind of things. Considering all of this, right, I have a very similar questions. This is more like a query. If you can answer that, we have tech from our side, right? What about the other side? How is the tech going to work from that side, and how does exactly all of this work?
Right. So when I was starting Cause, so I went to around 50 NGOs, and every NGO that I went to, I asked personally, how many kids have access to a mobile phone? And by access, I mean in that household having one cell phone, or let's say in that cluster being able to get access to it. So 75 to 80% had access, which was a beautiful number. It really excited me to hear that and see that. So and then it got vetted when we ran our first chapter of Passion Guru back in May of this year, right after lockdown, where we got kids from 12 different states, and we got 500 students to enroll, and we had around 14 plus NGOs that participated with us. So uh, there are issues that we did, we do get. I'll give you a couple of examples of the issues that we get. One is, in one phone, like imagine in one phone there are like 20 kids standing and
Right.
trying to learn. It's beautiful to see, actually. It's heartwarming to see. And then there are situations where their data gets exhausted. So
Hmm.
because 1 GB data milta hai unko and wo khatam ho jata
Yeah.
hai,
Yeah.
the things.
I know. I know. I know. Understand.
We help them top up the data, and we look for sponsors now to help top up that data for them, because it's just 18 rupees, but it's in mass. We're doing it in a large scale. So these are the kind of problems that we do face in technology. Of course, there are those signal issues that even we face, being privileged,
Sure.
sitting at home.
Yeah.
So even they do face it. It's not that bad there, but that's about it. And as on today, the kids are pushed to use the phone. So it's great that they are wanting to do it. And imagine that kid is actually opening a phone, understanding how to connect to a Zoom call, and so it's great because unka haath bhi khul raha hai, and it's just
Yeah.
taking away that fear from them. So I think many people are doing webinars, and everyone's doing it for the privilege. But why aren't we, doing it for the and
True.
this is the newest segment of society which never got technology before. Nobody had technology in this before 1 year, so it's like a virgin market, you could say, if at all, of where new users are coming in.
Yeah, I mean, while you were talking, it just came into my mind this what if these kind of same setup is there
Yeah,
for the unprivileged also, because
yeah,
we being privileged are being, I mean, sourced out to so many good people out here, listening to
yeah,
them, learning
yeah,
from them. The
yeah,
least we can do is do it from our side,
yeah.
standing in the shoes of what happened today. Uh, Apart from that, if you want to like give a gist of how these people out here who are watching you and are interested to say showcase their passion and do the same what happened, what you just showed right now on screen.
Mm-hmm.
If you could tell that, and then we can move on to the questions from the audience. If I see a few people raising hands, if more people get added, then we'll add. We'll probably take 3-4 questions and then
Sure.
we can go.
So I feel the role of you as a youth is to inspire. It's to provide your skills, your time, and we have created that technology so that you can do it now. And it's
Yeah,
time to use this extra time in to polish your passion as well while giving back. It's like a win-win. So you're typing and you're learning, you're doing your bit. So you can simply log into passionguru.in, and you can just click on sign up. You can see our website, and you can either volunteer, you can be a mentor. So through the volunteer, I told you about the options: telecalling, graphic designing, web designing. So any of those skills that you might have, please select the volunteer option, and you can put in what skill you have, and we'll try to map you to an activity that you could help in. Secondly, if you want to mentor and teach these kids, so you need to have prior teaching experience in a passion, let's say singing, dancing, painting, or sketching, those ones, and you can just register yourself online. And the last way is to call us or reach us out on our social media at Passion Guru India or Cause India. These are the right ways to connect with us, and we'll patch you into activities.
sure. I think this is what is called the real impact, right? Where you know that there's some tangible output. People are learning something out of the talent that you have, and I think
And
it's
let's
great.
add one more thing, Mayank.
Yeah, sure, sure.
But also as leaders, when we have when we see a person who's poor around us,
Yeah.
we like kya de inko, matlab, we give her maybe 50 rupee note or something like that. But now you, all of you here, can go to that person who you wanted to help and say, भैया आपका अगर बच्चा है आप प्लीज अपने बच्चे को यहाँ पे कॉल करने को बोलें, उनको एजुकेशन मिलेगी फ्री ऑफ कॉस्ट. इट्स ऑल फ्री ऑफ कॉस्ट. देयर इज नो कॉस्ट टू द पुअर. So that's one of the ways that I would say, each one get one. If you're
Yeah.
350 people here, if you can get 350 kids, that's a beautiful way of giving back in your own unique way without any cost.
Yeah, I think that person can be your watchman's son. It can be someone who is
Exactly.
working at your home, their children, and things like that.
Exactly.
I think these small initiatives that you can take right from your home, where you can sign up in things like PassionGuru and showcase your talent and also help these kids learn those talents. Right. So I think that's a beautiful initiative. Thank you so much, Avnish.
Right.
I think we'll take a few questions from the audience. What happens now is that they'll be handed over the mic. They'll be enabled with their camera and mic on the stage itself. Right.
Oh.
Hi, Raghav.
Hi, Raghav.
Hi, Avnish. Thank you so much. It was a very insightful discussion that we had here. So my question to you is that sometimes when we reach out to different NGOs or we try to help them, there's a sort of neglection from their side for probably not trusting us or having a bad experience with some similar organizations before us probably. So how do you think we can change that we have time and we have the resources to do something for them?
So that's a beautiful question. So trust is one of the most important factors in an NGO, and that's why past 2 years, all we've been doing at Qause is building trust. We've been talking to NGOs, and that's exactly the value add that we give. Because if you go through Qause, the NGO knows Qause, and they trust us, and then automatically they trust you. So we will obviously be vetting and creating that kind of a process so that the NGO knows that hey, there's going to be some quality work here, and if they're neglecting or not being responsible about the opportunity being given to them. So there is Qause as an intermediary who is going to act upon them, and that may affect their future support from us as well. So creating that kind of an ecosystem is one of the most important things here. Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Thank you, Raghav.
Thank you.
All right, with two more people.
Hello, Avnish. This is Amit.
Hi,
Thank you very much for all the videos and all the talkings that you did. Because I come from the social sector of AIESEC itself, IGV, Incoming Global Volunteers. So this is a real cause we have been working towards. But I had one question that AIESEC as an organization is NPO in itself, and like Cause, I was just going to the LinkedIn profile while you were talking also. So it is also a kind of NPO. So how Cause as an organization is managing its financial sustainability? Because many a times many organizations try to do a lot of good, but at the same time on their part there are a lot of cost which they have to incur, like your organization would also be requiring a lot of cost, technology cost that is required to be incurred. So how are you managing the financial sustainability of cost? That is my question.
Right. Great question. Yeah, I've been asked this quite a number of times actually. So we've leveraged a couple of models here. So one is our subscription model that we will eventually launch out for NGOs on Qause.com. So the game here is mass. So we're planning to get like around 10 odd thousand NGOs registered on this platform by December. So if we are at an NGO, like we have 10,000 NGOs, so you can assume how SEO would be amazing. We'll be on Google at the top. So we'll be able to get traffic to these NGOs. And via that, when we show them and when we first create value to them, that, hey, listen, look, you're getting this traction, you're getting these volunteers, you're getting this donation through us. So all we ask in return is 500 rupees a month. So 500 rupees is not much, and an NGO can easily pay that, right? So it would not pinch their pocket. Multiply that 500 NGOs, that gives, right? And that's per month. So that's the beauty of technology, right? If you're paying for Netflix $600 a month, $300 a month, I mean, it doesn't pinch you, but you get that value, right, which you are actually using it out of. So that's the era of technology in terms of subscription and models like that. And even in Passion Guru, so in Passion Guru, we have a lot of courses in Passion Guru actually. So we are hoping to be creating a sustainable ecosystem where reduce that cost of the mentor, reduce that cost of the moderator, reduce that cost of the telecaller, so that it's becoming a ecosystem by itself. And the last thing that I would like to add on this is the students who we are teaching the passion, we are trying to take them to build a career on it as well. So we're not just leaving it there. We're going to tell them how they can earn out of it. So we make them moderators, and eventually we start paying them little nominal salaries. Like Wix and Canva, things like where you can learn and you can become a graphic designer in minutes. So I'm going to aiming to teach these kids how to do that and how to earn out of it. So yeah, I mean that's what I have. Yes.
Thank you so much, Amit.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, we have one last person. Guys, I can take one more. If anyone has anything to ask, then you can raise your hand and I'll get you on stage.
Okay, hi. So first of all, I would just want to say that this was an amazing session. Normally when all of us think about.
Sorry, you're not audible. Could you repeat?
Hello.
Yes.
Hello. Am I audible?
Yeah, no,
Yes.
Yeah. So first of all, I would really like to thank you for this session, because honestly, when normally people think about NGOs and the impact they create, they rank their impact based on they rank their success based on the impact they make. But no one actually looks to see what goes on behind the NGO and the number of problems they face. And I feel your organization does exactly that. You tackle their root and you help them out. So honestly, I feel that's amazing.
Thank you so much.
What I wanted to ask you was say if someone wanted to volunteer, I just wanted to know more in detail how they get accepted and the timeline, for how long they have to teach. Or yes, I just wanted to know more about that.
Okay. So we started the volunteering program, I think about last week itself. So it's very, very new, and it had to be tuned to lockdown. It had to be tuned to be available to you in this situation. But that being said, there is a screening method where we ask you how many hours a week can you contribute, how many months would you like to commit to, and do you have you'll be doing and once it's accepted, in the sense by accepted I mean when I have an activity for you, which is tuned to what you want to do, so we'll be calling you back. It won't be an instant connect. It'll take maybe a few days for us to actually find that activity and map you to it. And once that's done, then we'll give you a call and we'll be like, hey, this is what we have for you. Would you like to commit for a month, maybe 1 hour a day, maybe 4 hours a day? And you'll be like, okay, I'll do 4 hours a day. And then after that the training starts, and then the role starts, and that's how it goes.
All right. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Geetika. All right, we have one more person, last person, and then. Hi, Gaurav. Can you hear us?
Yeah. Hey, Amish. So my
Yeah.
question is, hi. So my question is, since we know that most of the NGO campaigns are limited to cities area, what I was thinking, what if we can reach to town and villages and schools so that we can let people know more about the NGO campaigns we are going through, so we can have a much better reach. So what are your views on that?
So how we are doing, so I get what you're saying, and we were doing exactly that before lockdown. So we had relationship managers in around 10 states of India who were going deep down into the villages and getting NGOs from there. But now that we are stuck in lockdown, so what we are doing is we're using the medium of telephony, and we're actually reaching out we have a database of around 18,000 NGOs with us, and we are going to be reaching out to each one of them and telling them to come online and just register. So I believe that the right way to do this effectively on a large scale is through the phone, is through the internet. phone would be the first place, and then would be the internet. But reaching out physically on ground is one, a, not practical at the moment. Second, even if it was not locked down, even at that time it is not practical or feasible in terms of cost, in terms of scale, in terms of quality, to actually go down to the NGO and do all of those. But I would have that in my plan, in terms of going to those NGOs after we have onboarded them online. So we want to first make a relationship with them online, and then we take it forward and be like, hey, if you need anything, we are there. We're there to help you out, and we'll connect you to a volunteer. So the game here is, it's either or. So how many people, like we have 350 people here. If you all join Cause, then there's so much more of an impact that we can do together. So right now we're at also that stage where we are expanding operations to a larger level, so that we can impact more and more lives deep down into those villages.
Yeah, thank you.
Thanks, Gaurav.
Thank you, Gaurav. All right, Avnish, thank you so much for being here.
Thank
It's,
you.
it's such an honor to listen to the kind of impact that is going on, which is unheard as of now in the world. I think this will go on in a way where people who are present here, who've seen you live, will probably pass on this message. And like all the information that Avnish had told about the Passion Guru, if you are one of those enthusiasts, then you will be getting an email from Young Leaders Day, which will have the link of Passion Guru where you can go sign up, and also make sure that you are helping one person around you to sign up for the same. And Avnish, if you have any last few words that you want to give out to the audience, and then we can end.
Well, all I'd like to say right now before signing off is, your time is more valuable than your money. And if you can give back your time, just 1 hour a week, just 1 hour a day, I mean, it can make a huge impact. We can actually literally change the world if we all, as the youth, come together, because India is the below 30 is 50% of India. And let's just come together. I'm like, the platform is ready. You just guys have to join, and we have to start this and build this together.
Don't worry, we are trying and taking a lot of
Absolutely.
initiative to take this
Yeah.
forward. Thank you so much, Avnish,